Hey yo, man, free the bro Sha. You heard? These is actual pictures of the bro on Rikers Island. You heard? Only LAZ could get pictures like this. Yer. But yeah, man, if you ain't familiar with them Sha stories, go to that free Sha playlist with all of the episodes that we did so far. Got new heat coming this week. You heard? We moving out here. You heard? Shout out to the whole Manhattanville. Shout out to Harlem. Shout out to the whole New York City, man. You heard? LAZ, man, if you want to do a collab with me, get at me. Check my track record. I got songs and videos with too many major rappers to name in this little 20 seconds. I got this picture showing, so go do your research. You heard? Find out about me. And let's make history. Check that new series I got jumping, Boots on the Ground. You heard, where we talking to veterans and listening to some of the movies they got. You heard? Boots on the Ground, new series. You know they call me Saint Series out here. HBO, stop playing, man. Know what I mean? A&E, stop playing, bro. I need that 20 zillion. You heard? Z-Boy.
And they was like, but SEL, you got to look at this shit too. Like, you the one who plugged us in with him. So we could be looking crazy at you, but we just know you ain't moving on that type time. That's the only reason why ain't no energy in your direction. And I was like, exactly, because you know I don't move like that. But at the end of the day, I know my peoples don't move like that. And all y'all got is my word for that. This one is about my peoples. Like I said, when I was down there, I was moving around in the game. So, you know, when you in the game, you're going to meet certain people and you're going to connect with people. There's this one dude I connected with who I'm going to just call Craig. But everybody out there knew this dude. Good dude. Any type of situation you had, he was so plugged in with people on the legal side of shit that he always was able to get you somebody or get you in a good position to get out of whatever you was in. And I can tell you so many times this nigga saved my ass. Like, I got locked up in Virginia one time. I don't know nobody out there. I got caught driving from North Carolina to, I was on my way to New York. I had 14 racks in the trunk and I'm going up top to, you know, make some shit happen. I get pulled over because I got tents on my window and my peoples were smoking a little bullshit ass piece of herb, but they stopped us for the tents. They smelled the herb. That gave them reasonable suspicions to search the car. So they find the money in there, lock us up and whatnot. So when they lock us up, we sitting in there. I don't know nobody out there. And I'm like, yo, we need to find a way to get out of here. You know what I'm saying? They gave us a little bail, but none of the bondsmen wanted to touch us because we wasn't from that state. So I called my peoples. I called this dude, Craig. And he was like, where you at? Such and such. And I was like, yeah. So he was like, all right, I know somebody out there. He was like, somebody gonna be up here to see you in like an hour. So I'm like, bet. Definitely to like an hour and a half later, they calling me downstairs to talk to the bondsman. I go down there, he was like, yeah, such and such, you call me. He was an Alpha Kappa Alpha. So he had plugs in with a whole lot of people. And this bondsman happened to be one of his fraternity brothers. And he was like, I think it was Alpha Kappa Alpha, but it was one of them fraternities. But anyway, he was like, yeah, I got a call from my peoples out of this and that. Like, you know, he told me you good money and this and that. You gonna come to court, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm coming to court. So he bonds us out. Long story short, he bonds us out. It's late at night. And when I get out, he was like, you need a ride back to Richmond? And I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm just ready to get the fuck away from that jail. He was like, what you mean you good? You got somebody coming to get you or something? And I'm like, nah, you know, I'm good. I get back. And he was like, oh, nah, you need to get in this car. You ain't getting back from here. I didn't know it at the time, but the name of the jail, it was like Pamunkey Regional Jail and shit. And this joint is all the way out in the woods. So I would have been walking for hours to get back to some type of civilization. And it was dark as hell. Like, when he was driving me back to where I was going, I could see how dark that joint was. We came in the daytime.
You don't want to be walking through there black at night in the middle of the night.
Hell no. You'd have died back there.
Straight up.
He was like, Yeah, he was like, pay attention when you're driving back, because obviously you didn't pay attention when you was driving in here. He was like, first of all, see how dark these roads are, and that you was talking about walking this night at nighttime. And he said, and on top of that, this is nothing but like white people area. So as we driving back, yeah, he was right. It was like in the woods. Half of them streets was black as hell. He turned the lights out a few times just to show how dark that shit was. He was like, you see this shit? This is what you was talking about walking out of. But yeah. So I just said that to let you know, like, the type of dude this was. I can tell you another time I got locked up in Maryland on my way up top. These people trying to charge me with a gun charge because I had a bullet, a safety pin, a screw, and it was a penny. I had all of that in a little pouch. And they tried to say I had a rudimentary gun. So they trying to give me a gun charge in Maryland for this, right? And I wound up getting bailed out on it. I had to go back for it because I never went back for the charge. I'm like, I'm not going back for that bullshit ass charge. They found herb and that shit that they trying to say is a gun. I was like, I'm not going back for that charge. So I didn't go back. Driving through Maryland one day, I get stopped, get picked up. They lock me back up and bring that gun charge back up and the herb. So while I'm out there, again, I'm stuck. I call him. This dude was like, oh, word, you over here? I got you. He gets a lawyer to come to court for me. So the lawyer is like a monster. He went there, he was like, wait a minute. Y'all said what? Da, 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 da. He was like, this is supposed to be a gun? How is this a gun? So the prosecutor is like, if you take this, you can do this, and in a controlled environment, we can make this fire. The lawyer was like, you can't make that shit fire in a controlled environment, and you can't make that shit fire now. How are you gonna make a safety pin, a bullet, a penny, and a screw into a gun? Like, Your Honor, are you really gonna sit here and let this man tell us that this is a gun? The judge looked at him, and the judge said, go ahead, make it fire. The prosecutor was like, no, Your Honor, it would have to be a controlled environment. The judge is like, I know the same thing this lawyer is saying. This is stupid. You're trying to stretch this. He was like, I'm dropping that charge. What else do y'all have? And they was like, he had a little bit of marijuana, this and that. He was like, how long was he locked up before? And they told him. And he was like, time served on the marijuana and the gun charges thrown out. So boom, I'm happy as a bitch. But let me tell you this, right before I went to go to New York, I had a warrant in North Carolina. I turned myself in and bonded back out on this warrant because I didn't want to be trapped off if something happened, which did happen. So I'm thinking I'm good. After they dropped the gun charge and the marijuana, I'm like, I'm good. I don't got nothing else holding me. I'm about to get out. So when they was about to release me, they was like, wait a minute, you got a warrant in North Carolina. And I'm like, nah, I don't have no warrant. If you check that warrant, I bailed out on that Friday before I came on the road. I bailed out on that. So they was like, nah, this warrant is showing it's active, so we can't release you. So I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm just going to have to spend the night. They're going to have to contact somebody, and they're going to tell them that the warrant, you know what I'm saying, is not an active warrant any longer. But that shit didn't happen. The place where I was at was Alamance County, and it's like this white people town out there, too. So they wouldn't drop the warrant. They wanted me to get extradited back to North Carolina. This man, with a lawyer for 3 days straight, went to Alamance County fighting to get them to drop that fucking warrant because he was like, how could y'all charge him with a warrant? He's bailed out on this and that. But they would not drop it. So I wound up having to get extradited all the way back to North Carolina. And in that extradition, some crazy ass shit happened too. Like, these motherfuckers was treating me like MacGyver because of the gun thing that yeah, they thought, like, for real, when we spent the night in a jail, they put everybody in a gym. But they was like, you, come here. They put me in a cell and locked me in a cell. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? So the next morning, when I get up, everybody like, yo, where was you at? I was like, they put me in a cell. Where was y'all at? They was like, we slept in the gym. So I was like, what the fuck they do that for? So the officer, once they handcuffed him, he was like, you know why they locked you in a cell and they put everybody else? I was like, nah. He was like, what did you get caught with in Maryland? And I just started laughing. I'm like, you serious? Like, y'all motherfuckers think I'm MacGyver. So yeah, it was because of that. But anyway, long story short, I got, like, I'm just trying to tell you how cool this dude was and how he'd go to bat for you. It's been so many situations how this dude tried to get me out of them or did get me out of situations. But anyway, what happened was, he had connects on the legal side, but he also had connects on the street side. So my peoples from New York came down there, and they was doing their thing down there, but they wound up drying up on the shit that they was getting. So they came to me and was like, yo, you know somewhere where we can get something? And I'm like, nah, but I asked around. So that's what I done. I went to my people's Craig, knowing how he know a lot of people on both sides. I hollered at him at this time, and I was like, yo, you know such and such and such. And he was like, yeah, I just bailed this dude out. That's good money on that. So I'm like, all right, I need to holler at him. You know what I'm saying? I got some peoples that want to do something. So he was like, bet. So really, I didn't even holler at him. I hollered at my peoples and said, look, I found somebody. I'm going to plug you in with him. So I plugged my peoples in with Craig. Craig became like the middleman for these two people. So he orchestrated something for them, and it went down. But the fucked up shit is they wound up selling my people some trash, and my peoples wanted their money back, but they didn't. The dude like went ghost on them, so it fell back on Craig. It was like, yo, your peoples is the middleman to this shit, and the people that he plugged me in with sold me some bullshit. Like, what's up with that? He got to give us back our money. So I hollered at him. I'm like, yo, what happened? Out of this and that. He was like, I don't know. I plugged him in with them, and that supposed to be the end of it. I don't know. So now I know my peoples wouldn't do no shit like that. Like, he ain't going to be in the mix of no shady business. I know how he is. He good money. He going to help more than he can hurt. So they don't know this, though. All they know is that he plugged them in with somebody, and they done him dirty. So, my bad, hold on. But yeah, so all they know is that he plugged them in with somebody, and the dude done him dirty. So next thing you know, my people's calling me. He was like, yo, man, you need to talk to your peoples, because they keep calling me and they hollering at me on some crazy type shit. Like, you know, I'm not on that type time. Like, I done something to help you out and to help them out. How that turned out is fucked up, but you know it ain't got nothing to do with me. I was like, I know, I already told him that. Like, it ain't got shit to do with you. I know you wouldn't have done nothing like that. He was like, so yeah. But anyway, my peoples wasn't trying to hear that shit. They was mad as hell. They was out of their loop. The people that they was dealing with had dried up for a moment, and I believe this was either before I got my connect with Shorty or either after, when that shit happened with her. But I know at the time I didn't have no connect at the time. That's why I plugged him in with them. But anyway, so some shit just started happening. Like, this shit got crazy because my peoples, you know what I'm saying, a few times these niggas snatched. One time they snatched him up and, you know, had him riding around telling him, you want to take us to these, you want to take us to him. And he was like, I don't know. The nigga ghosted me too. I don't know how to get to him. They was like, nah, either that or you taking us to get our money, this and that. You gotta have our money and all of that. So what saved his life this time probably was because this nigga drove into a police station. He was passing a police station. He saw some cops out in the parking lot. This nigga drove into a police station and was like, get out my car, I'm gonna start hitting the horn. So they was like, oh, word, you want it like that? He was like, y'all ain't giving me no choice. So they jumped out the car and just went off. And they had hammers on him and everything, but he didn't try to get him locked up. All he wanted them to do was get out of his car. So he sat there for a minute, gave them some time to dip off, and then he dipped out of the parking lot.
That was some smart shit, though.
Right, because he was gonna probably get done something dirty. So yeah, so he was like, he called me after that and was like, yo, SEL, your peoples is wilding for real. And he told me what happened. And then I hit my peoples up. I'm like, yo, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like, nah, this nigga is not, I don't want to hear that shit, SEL. Like, you gonna give us the money? Like, I fuck with you and everything, but we out of our money and this nigga is gonna give us our money. So he was like, if he can't get us back to this dude, then it's his problem. So I'm like, so again, I'm trying to talk these niggas down. And every time I turn around, they calling me like, yo, like, call this nigga, plug us, meet us up with him and this. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Nah, I'm not doing that. And they was like, but SEL, you got to look at this shit too. Like, you the one who plugged us in with him. So we could be looking crazy at you, but we just know you ain't moving on that type time. That's the only reason why ain't no energy in your direction. And I was like, exactly, because you know I don't move like that. But at the end of the day, I know my peoples don't move like that. And all y'all got is my word for that. I said, but I'm definitely not doing nothing to like lock y'all in with this dude, knowing what y'all got on y'all mind. So they was like, all right, fuck it, we gonna handle it our way. But Another time they call me and they sitting outside this nigga spot. They don't found out where he rests his head at. They sitting outside this nigga spot. And they called me. It was like, yeah, SEL, I'm sorry, but yeah, this is the night. We waiting for this nigga right now, da-da-da. And I'm like, where the fuck is y'all at? So they told me. And now I know they not lying. They at his spot. Like, I knew where he stayed at. So I'm like, yo, I'm just going to tell y'all this. And y'all take it how y'all want. Because I know at the end of the day, I can't talk y'all niggas off whatever ledge y'all on. But I'm just going to tell you some real shit. I said, take a look around at where this nigga lives at. I said, those are private homes. Those are cars parked in driveways. Houses that lawn done. You're not in the hood. Like, pay attention to that. I said, you don't realize that your car, whatever y'all are in, is sticking out like a sore thumb. Somebody gonna call the cops on y'all, and 9 times out of 10, y'all sitting in that car with a car full of guns. So he thought, well, like, you could tell he got quiet, so I know he was thinking about it. And he was like, yo, this shit got me like sideways, because, you know, we didn't have the money that this nigga fucked up to get it fucked up. So, but I understand what you're saying. So we about to dip. He was like, yo, pull off. So he told them niggas to dip, and they left. But after that, like, they kind of left me out of the loop. He put me in the loop on that because I guess he felt like he had one up where he found the nigga crib was at. But he left me out the loop. But long story short, I'm sitting there one day, probably like about a week later, I'm on the phone with this shorty I just met. And I hadn't even hung out with her, and I just met her. So I'm sitting there talking to her, and she was like, oh shit, turn that up. That's about that dude that got killed. And I'm like, I'm listening, and then I hear her say the name. And I'm like, yo, hold on, what you just said? And she was like, oh, such and such and such. And yeah, he got killed, they found him dead. And I'm like, you lying? And she was like, yeah. So I hung up on her, and I started calling around, and my people was like, yeah, he got killed. So, you know, instantly, you know, the first shit that was on my head, like, damn, you know what I'm saying? They lined this nigga and caught up to him. But from what I understand, like, you know, my people got snatched up behind that and everything. Paid a lawyer, went to court and all that, and he beat the charge. But yeah, they killed my nigga, man. I'm not saying it's my people's, you know what I'm saying? That's the last thing I'm gonna say, because like I said, he went to court for all of that, and he had an alibi from where he was at during the time and all of that. But yeah, they done my man dirty. And that shit fucked me over. Like, you know, that shit hurt. I went to his eulogy and all of that shit. Like, when they done his peoples, he was from out of state too. He wasn't even from North Carolina. And I went to to his services and all of that, and it was mad people there. Like, he had a mob of people there, street niggas and everything, because like I said, he was well respected. Like, people fuck with him hard. And yeah, knocked his head off.
That shit crazy.
But
That shit crazy.
yeah, that shit threw me sideways, because like when I hollered at my peoples, he was like, you know, I wanted that nigga bad, and I ain't even gonna sit here and lie to you. You know, I wanted that nigga bad. But he was like, on the real, I didn't catch that nigga. He was like, I'm not mad it happened, I'm not upset it happened, but it wasn't me. Like, I didn't catch that nigga. So, and I just felt so fucked up, because, you know what I'm saying, like I said, I'm the one who kind of connected them. Me connecting them set that whole shit in motion. So I don't know, like I said, can't even say if it all came from that situation. But, you know, to this day, I kind of blame myself, like, damn, you know what I'm saying? That's why it's hard. These streets, man, like, the moral to that story is you don't even got to be in the middle mix of nothing. You could be a nigga that, you know, just trying to look out for somebody else, or trying to get somebody else in a decent position for themselves, and wind up doing some shit that can lead to a whole big catalyst. Because, like I said, all I did was put A with B, and all of that shit came out of that. And like I said, I still don't know if it came from that situation, but to this day, I still feel like, you know what I'm saying, like, my hand could have been a part of that. I don't know. In some kind of way, I feel like, you know, that whole shit could have been from that situation. So that shit fuck with me to this day. Because like I said, your boy was a good dude, man. He looked out for me so many times and was there. And then half of the time, it wasn't even about no money or nothing. You know what I'm saying? It was just him looking out. So, yeah. Streets ain't it, man. People still got that mentality that these streets is it, but streets ain't it, man.
Yeah, and it's a lot of people that was in the drug game and they died over a misunderstanding where somebody thought they did some bullshit. You feel me? Like a nigga, cause a nigga was fucking with somebody else that was doing some greasy shit, and they lost their life. You feel me? Because of some greasy shit that a nigga they trusted did.
Yep. Definitely. There's plenty of shits that I don't been witness to like that, like street shit that you don't have to have nothing to do with it. Like I said, you could just be somebody that's just in a mix with people that's in that mix, and you get tied to a situation that ain't got nothing to do with you. Because easily, my peoples, like I said, they just knew I didn't move that way, but easily they could have felt like, nah, you the problem too. And all I called myself doing was looking out for them, you know what I'm saying, trying to get them something where they didn't have nothing.
That's why.
And they could have easily been like, you a part of that problem too.
Yeah, that's why, man, you know, sometimes in especially a lot of times in the streets, you gotta just, even though you could help somebody, you gotta just mind your motherfucking business sometimes, because you might help a motherfucker out and that shit come back to you. You feel me? On some shit, you just did a nigga a favor and that shit get you killed. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes even when I got the urge to help somebody, I'll be like, nah, I'm good, man.
Yeah,
I'm good, bro.
You got to look at all of the moving parts that could come out of helping somebody. Sometimes you're hurt more than you help. And it sounds fucked up, but sometimes you got to leave people right where they at.
Real talk.
Because trying to put your hands on situations sometimes, like I said, there's so many moving parts that can take place in the streets that you don't know how that shit can wind up affecting you, your family. It don't even have to be you. Nigga can't touch you, they touch your family. And that's all a part of the streets, you know what I'm saying? So it's a good thing, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've learned now, you know, I stepped away from that. I still got people that move around in it, but, you know, I speak, but I keep my distance because, like I said, you don't know how them streets and how it can affect you, even just being in the mix of something. But it's people that just don't get that, you know what I'm saying? Like, the shit that you doing now, like, even with your channel and giving people a platform to, like, get shit off their chest, stuff that they've been through, and, you know what I'm saying, stuff that affected them. It's people going through that out there. It's people that's bitten right now. It's people that is still in them streets that need to hear some of this shit. You don't know how you can save somebody's life. So how people can look at that and try to tear that down, it just speaks not to what you're doing, but it speaks to the mentality that has been, like, implanted in us. We've been trained. We've been groomed to attack each other more than lift each other. Somebody could easily look at you and say, nah, we going to work to build this. But why would somebody look and instantly in their heart say, I'm going to look to tear this down any way I can?
It's just proof that, you know, we're still, as a race of people, we're still suffering from the effects of slavery.
Exactly. And you know, slavery was only meant to pit and plot us against each other, give us every reason to look at each other as enemies and not join. Now they got us with colors, they got us with blocks. Back in the days, they had us with states. Like when the people from the South migrated to the North, the people that stayed South, they split us up with that. They was like, they told us, oh, the people they left y'all, they going up there following behind the same person that put them in slavery. And the people that stayed back, the people from up north told them, oh, they gonna stay back there with the same people that came and got them and had them in slavery, and we giving them a way to be free. And they stayed there. They dumb. We gonna teach y'all, we gonna give y'all an education. So, you know, that's where the mentality still plays into this day, where they be like, the South niggas is slow, and people up top, they be talking about niggas up top think they slicker than everybody else, they smarter than, because they gave us that mentality to be against each other instead of saying, nah, you know what I'm saying? We just want to try something different. And the ones that stay there, we not mad at you. Y'all still family. You know what I'm saying? But this is our outcome. That's y'all outcome. This is what we gonna work with. They still to this day, they carry that division in their hearts and their minds and their attitudes and their walk. And the crazy thing about it, that this is the part that really kills me. A person that's like opened their eyes and stepped away from all that shit can see it. But the people who still caught up in that can't even see what they're doing. They still look at their brother as the enemy. They still look at a person that's trying to struggle through this bullshit and shake their mud off of them and get up out of that as the enemy.
Now they literally can't help it. It's a disease.
Exactly.
Like when people say, yo, that brother is sick, it's a literal meaning. Like dudes literally have a sickness where they cannot they cannot stop themselves from feeling hatred towards somebody else that's progressing. You understand what I'm saying? That come from their same walk of life, their same background, skin color, same level of poverty, same type of ghetto. You feel what I'm saying? It's literally it's a sickness, man. You know what I mean? And you know, it's been a cancer in the black community since forever.
Right. And the crazy thing is, what you're saying is so true. When you realize that, you can't even look at these people and be mad. You know, it makes you want to sometime, but like you said, they're sick. It's not even like they're moving off their own energy. This is the shit that's been planted in them. Why show somebody love when I can hate them? Why give somebody a hand when I can put my foot on their neck? Like, you can't even look at them and be mad. This is what they've been taught. This is what they've been raised to do. But as a man is the only time you start looking and say, yeah, I find fault in that. Because you a man now. You're supposed to be able to shake shit that you was taught as a child. You're supposed to be able to shake shit that you seen other people do and still doing to this day. Because as a man, you think on your own. I'm going to never look at another man and say, I'm going to hurt him before I can help him. I don't give a fuck what paths in life we took, what walks we took. Like, we own our own truths. I hear motherfuckers saying about the stuff that you spoke on, oh, I would have never told a nigga that. But you basically saying that you don't look at yourself as a man and you regret shit you've been through in your life. We ain't supposed to regret nothing. Our truth is our truth, and we stand on those shits. Do we feel good about some of the choices we made? Hell no. But as a man, why would you put your foot on a nigga neck before you put your hand up and say, yo, come on, I got you. Let's stand up. Because if we do this shit together, we can stand up together. This is why they step back and let us live in that little barrel they put us in, because they know every time somebody try to climb out, the next one going to grab them and try to pull them back down. They feel comfortable with that. And we don't even see it. Like I said, the ones who open their eyes and step back can clearly see it. But there's so many people still caught up in that, man. I be feeling sorry for them. I be wanting to say something sometime, but I know they're not going to take that as respect or love, or a nigga just trying to reach out. They're going to take it, oh, this motherfucker got something to say. Nah, it ain't that. It's like, think about it. Like, we in the same situation trying to get out of that. Why would you hurt me before you try to help me? I wouldn't do that to you.
Yeah, like I spoke with one dude, man, and you know, the type of hatred that he was spewing out of his mouth, it was shocking. Like, it was shocking to hear a person that doesn't know you speak that hatefully about you. Like, if it's something personal, if I knew a dude personally and we don't mess with each other no more, I would be able to comprehend that type of hatred. You feel me? But when it's somebody that doesn't even know you at all, and they harboring that much hatred and venom for you, it's an awakening and makes you realize that, damn, it's not a cliche that my people are sick out here with the crab in the barrel mentality. This shit is real deal.
It's real. It's real. And like I said, when you step back, you see it. When you caught up in it, it's hard to see, man. Like, the people that's doing that, they don't see it. They caught up in it. And even when some type of truth come to them and some type of knowledge try to open their eyes, like, it's hard when you try to shine light in a dark spot. The first thing they're gonna do is cover their eyes because they're so used to that darkness. That shit burn, that shit hurt. Like, turn the motherfucking lights out. And, you know, you take it how you want. They can feel how they want, but it's the truth. Like, when you stuck in darkness, that's the only time you do shit to divide the very people you supposed to be trying to unite. And you use a cliche mentality that we was embedded with in these streets. These are the same mentalities that was embedded in us, but does that shit help us? Does it get us forward? Which should be the goal of anybody to move forward. You got kids, you got children, you got wives, you got a home, you're a grown-ass man now. Your mentality should be moving forward. You stuck in the past and don't even see it.
Yeah, these dudes, some of these dudes, they well into I'm pushing 50. These dudes is well into their 50s, and they on here, ridiculing people and, trying to smear people's shit over shit that happened to dudes when they was 16 and 15 years old. And these dudes are really insane, bro. It's like some of these dudes are really insane, but what it really is they're institutionalized themselves. And they're still, even though some of these dudes are 50-something years old, they're still 16 and 17 years old in the mind. You understand? Yep. Their mind hasn't developed. They have aged in their physical body has aged, but mentally their development has been arrested and they can't see past C74. You understand what I'm saying? They can't see past that shit. We trying to get to a solution to this shit. It's just disgusting, my bro. We trying to concentrate on the solution and see what we could do with the rest of our lives now that jail and the streets and shit ruined most of our lives. You understand what I'm saying? And here we are playing catch up at pushing 50, well in the 50s, 40s. We playing catch up. And you got some dudes that they still want to have a 16, 17-year-old competitive mentality. It's just crazy,
right.
Bro.
Yeah, that's how they look at it. They look at it like, look at this nigga trying to get out of here. Nah, fuck that shit.
Yeah, it's like slavery.
Out of all of the content on your page, out of all of the stuff on it, out of all of the stories that could help a motherfucker, they pick one that they can attack. Pick one of these stories that could help get a motherfucker out of their situation, because you got kids coming behind you. You got a generation still get ready to step up behind you. Pick some of these stories that can help them, and let's focus on that. Let's turn that Bible.
Yeah, what's even more disgusting, bro, is, you know, niggas attacking me and shit over with shit that I said. Niggas ain't find nothing out about me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, niggas, this is shit I spoke about and stood on.
You stood on your truths.
You understand what I'm saying? And these niggas, they'll never, what I want to know is, why don't these niggas tell their jail stories? All of these niggas was locked up. Why are they not telling their jail stories? Why niggas don't come on their platform and speak about their lives and what's going on their platforms? I wonder why. Yeah. But like in slavery, my nigga. Yeah, like in slavery, bro. You know, when some slaves was planning to escape, other slaves would go and tell on them. Yo, he trying to get it. He ain't leaving us. Yeah, cause they was scared to try to make a escape attempt. This is what's going on. This is the same mentality as the slaves in the field, cause they was scared to make a escape attempt when other slaves had the balls to say, I'm going for it. Even if I gotta kill one of these motherfuckers, I'm going for it. Them niggas will go back and tell the massa, yo, this motherfucker right here is trying to rile up the slaves to try to escape tonight, and niggas will come and kill. So basically, niggas like, nah, nigga, you not getting free. You not getting free if I'm gonna be here. But nigga, you could try to escape with me, nigga.
Right.
But nah, you rather see me lynched.
Comfortable in that space. That's what it is. They don't got so comfortable in that space. Like they say, ignorant is bliss. That's a true ass statement. You got so comfortable in that space that when you see somebody trying to break free of that, your first thought is not, damn, let me get out of here with him. Your first thought is, how can I stop that?
A lot of these dudes are insecure little kids. You understand? They're insecure little kids that never had no real love. They never faced the facts that, yo, my parents abandoned me. You understand what I'm saying? My parents was on drugs. You know, I grew up in a dysfunctional family. I went to jail at a young age. I've experienced stuff. They never want to face these facts. So they will always be weak, hurting men. You understand what I'm saying? And they always gonna hate on those who has the bravery enough to stand on their truths and tell the world their real story on what happened to them.
I salute motherfuckers that went through that at young ages and ain't nothing happened to them. They came in that bitch and done what they done. It came out. But that's not everybody's story. You know what I'm saying? Some niggas went through some shit. Some people ain't just going that bitch to stand up. A lot of times people go through some shit, and when people tell you their story, you judge them for that, or do you say, damn, you know what I'm saying? I made it. I was blessed, is what they should be saying. I was blessed. You know, I didn't have to go through that. You know what I'm saying? My nuts hung the whole time, but some people, just because they tell you the truth, I went through some shit. My nuts hung later, but I went through some shit when I first touched. That's respectable.
Straight up.
Even if it wasn't your truth, it's my truth. And you didn't go dig that up. Somebody didn't say, hey, I got a story for you. I told you that truth. I gave you that. And I don't even see how people take somebody else's truth and say, I'm going to turn this into a story, when all of them damn stories you got on your page that a motherfucker could capitalize on, share with the people, and push. You take some shit that you feel like you can throw dirt on the nigga name, like,
But you know,
where do that fit in that to us rising out of our situation?
you know what's crazy, bro? All this shit is really doing is free promotion for my life story and documentary that I'm about to do. That's all this shit is really doing. You feel what I'm saying? It's promoting. It's promoting exactly what I'm gonna do, and that's tell people the real story about what happened, what I went to jail for. Everything is written in the book of life, and the scriptures cannot be broken, man. Now, I mean, everything is written. You know, lately I've been meditating and doing affirmations on, you know, achieving, getting rich, and being extremely successful. And the universe don't take nothing personal. So if you meditating and trying to manifest success and riches, the universe is gonna give you that shit however it gives it to you. If it may come in the form of extreme hate, it may come in the form of extreme love, but the universe don't take none of it personal. It's gonna give you what you ask for if you truly believe you deserve it. You understand? So some of this hate and all of that, I know it may be my blessings. It may just be my blessings in disguise. That's all it may be. So, you know, I take all of it in stride, man. And I got a bunch of dudes leaving comments on my page. Yo, Laz, you gotta address this. You gotta address. Man, I really don't gotta address shit. You understand? Because too many people know me in this city. And if you make 2 phone calls, you know somebody that knows me. Ask them. You feel what I'm saying? So, but I'm telling the story soon. My own documentary, my own life story. Kids with guns. And everybody will know the real truth behind everything. I ain't got nothing to hide. Don't give a fuck. Everything I done spoke about myself. Niggas running around. Yo, St. Laz killed a 4-year-old girl. That's disgusting, my brother. If I killed a 4-year-old girl, I wouldn't even try to be a motherfucking YouTuber. I don't care if it was a mistake, an accidental shooting, whatever it was. If I took the life of a 4-year-old child, I wouldn't even show my face on motherfucking YouTube. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So niggas spreading malicious lies and shit like that. I got niggas hitting me up. Yo, Laz, I'm gonna start a rumor that you got raped up in jail. Like, the hatred is so crazy, bro, that niggas is literally hitting me up, threatening me, saying they're gonna make up stories. You feel what I'm saying? Like, nigga, it's disgusting, bro. I don't think it's ever been a nigga that's hated, but you know, this is what I asked for. This is what I got. So, now I mean, it is what the fuck it is, nigga.
It goes right back to what you just said. The universe don't pick and choose how it gets what you ask for. But you know, the darkest part of the day, that's when the light come right after the darkest part of the day. And that's what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, you know the story of the camel stuck in a hole. People kept throwing dirt on that camel, They was trying to bury the camel. He just kept shaking his back and patting his feet. And before long, even what they gave him, thinking they was hurting him, made him rise up out of the situation that he was in. So do you be mad at those people that threw dirt that whole time when they gave you the energy and everything that you needed to rise to the spot where you wanted to be in the first place? Or do you say, thank you, I appreciate that. You tried to bury me, but actually you helped me. And I don't care whether your intent was good or bad, you gave me what I needed to get where I needed to go. That's the way I look at even the negative energy. It's not what it is, it's how you use it. Shake that shit off and keep patting it under your feet, and I promise you're gonna rise. And
some deep shit, bro.
Humbleness, man. Yeah, definitely. Like, a lot of times you be humble, like, pray for these people. Don't even, that shit that they're doing is not them. They've been trained, they've been conditioned, they've been taught to act a certain way from a child. So as a man, like I said, we can look at them now and say, you a man, like, shake out of that shit. Don't get stuck in what you was taught.
I seen a nigga the other day. Let me tell you, bro. You know, you gotta really be conditioned for this shit. I seen a nigga the other day posting my 10-year-old daughter's picture on his YouTube channel, my nigga.
Come on.
You feel me? Now, bro, listen, let me tell you something, my nigga. You know, I be humble on this channel and shit like that. I be chilling. But you got a few people that really, really know me because they was with me closely. And, you know, I'm not always this humble nigga that niggas think I am, my nigga. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's neither here nor there. But when you sign on to a nigga channel and you see your daughter's picture on a nigga shit, bro, you know, you got to tap into a different level of energy. Because like one of my OGs said that I spoke to the other day, like real super official, next level super legend, that these niggas, you know, they'll never be able to contact or speak on the phone with these type of individuals. You feel me? He said some real shit. He said, yo, these dudes will trick you out of your freedom. Don't let these dudes trick you out of your freedom.
That's facts.
You feel me? And you know, I needed to hear that, bro. I needed to hear that at that moment, my nigga. You know what I mean? Definitely. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. But niggas out here posting my address. These niggas out here want me to die, my nigga, and it's disgusting because I don't know. I don't know these people
from nowhere.
You feel me? So the hate is fucking epic. The hate is epic. But what can you do but put hot sauce and ketchup on that shit and eat it up?
Mm-hmm.
You heard? So yeah, bro.
You gonna make it through all of that shit too.
You gonna get it.
Just always remember what that cab driver told you. You gonna make it through all of that shit. Like, that story hit me hard as a bitch because, you know, my life has been prophesied so many times in so many situations. But he told you the truth. You gonna make it through all of that. Like, the Lord is preparing the table before you in the presence of your enemies, like the Bible said. So yeah, you gonna be alright.
Yeah, bro.
Just keep standing on what you're standing on, and don't fall back off of what you're standing on. When people try to wake people up, like they done it to every other person that came and tried to do something to lift people up and not push them down, they always shoot them darts. But yeah, you're gonna be good. Definitely.
Yeah, bro. You know, I need that wisdom. I need to hear that wisdom at all times. In the meantime, we're gonna keep putting out these motherfucking movies. You heard?
You got to.
Real talk, but I appreciate
you. Got people
you.
depending on that. That
Facts.
Ain't looking one way or the other at what's going on. They just depending on to keep getting that food that you've been feeding them. So yeah, keep doing that.
That's a fact, bro, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you.